other questions. Coming to next model, see what is our first question. What is the approximate average number of students who take part in the activities from classes 7th, 8th and 10th? So 7th, 8th and then 10th. Okay, in the activities, who take part in the activities. If you have observed here, you can take it as the students who have taken part as 70. 1 minute. Okay, and then here it is 10, 90, and the next it is 90, and then here it is 60. These are the number of students who have taken part, as here they have given the students are not participating in any activity. Okay, I think you have understood this. Who take part in activities. What did they ask? Approximate average number, that is the total number of students who are taking part divided by in how many classes we are taking. Here we are taking in 3 classes, that is 7, 8 and then 10. Okay, 7, 8 and then 10, that is nothing but 70 plus 90 plus 60 divided by 3. You will be getting 150 plus 70, 220 divided by 3. What did they ask? The approximate value, nothing but 3 sevens and then 3 threes, 73. Okay, the approximate value we have got, it is 73. Okay friends, I think you have understood the average number they have asked, so that we have taken the total number of students who are participating in activities and then divided by from how many classes we are taking the students, that is nothing but 3 classes. Okay, 70 plus 90 plus 60 divided by 3, so we got here 73. Isn't that simple? Next question. What is the ratio of the students who participate in group singing? 1 second, I'll be writing here who are participating in activities, 90 and then 90 and then here 60. Okay, now coming to question. What is the ratio of the students who participated in group singing from 8th class to those who participated in the quiz from 9th class? So for 70 they have given here, this is the ratio of students taking part in group singing and then quiz. So in group singing, if we have taken this, it will become 50:20. Isn't that? They have given us 5:2. So to divide this 70 into 5:2 ratio, I have taken it as 50:20. I think you know this. Now from 8th class, that is here it is 90, to divide it, it becomes 80:10. So that, so 80:10. Sorry, wait. Sorry, it is 4:1 ratio, so that it will be 72:18. Okay, then it becomes 4:1 ratio. And then coming to 9th class, they have given 90 and then in the ratio of 3:2, so that we can go for 54:36. Okay, and then for 60 to become in 7:3 ratio, it will become 42:18. I think you have understood this, how we can take ratios from this. It is also very simple. We should take this complete ratio, that is 90 by 5, so that each part is 18. Okay friends, then you will be getting the ratios. Okay, now what is the question they ask? What is the ratio of the students who participated in group singing from class 8? From class 8, the ratio has become 72:18. In group singing, 72% have participated. And then to the quiz from 9th class. 9th class, we have got a ratio of 54:36. The number of students who participated in quiz is 36. Now, if we have taken the ratio between these two, it will become 2:1. Nothing but 72:36 is 2:1. That is option D. Okay friends, I think you have understood this question also. Okay, I'll be dealing it again. 70 should be divided into 5:2 ratio. Then you will be taking it as 50:20. 20. Okay, for 19, to divide it into 4:1 ratio, how can it come into 4:1 ratio? Each the total parts here is 5. Okay, so here each part becomes 18. Okay, if we have taken 18 here, and then for 4 parts it is nothing but 72. 72 plus 18, it will become 90. I think you understood this. We should be taking complete ratio, and then we will be getting each part is having a certain value. Depending on that value, we will be taking other values also. Okay friends, now we will be moving to our next question. See here, what is the difference between the number of students who take part in quiz from 7th and 8th classes together, and the total students who take part in any activity from class 9th? Okay, here the number of students who take part in quiz from class 7th and 8th is nothing but 18 and then 36. In our previous question we have discussed this, isn't it? See here, it is okay friends, this is our next question. What is the difference between the number of students who take part in quiz from class 7th and 8th classes together, and then total students who take part in any activity from class 9th? We know that here the total students who take part in any activity from class 9th is 90%, and then here the ratio we have taken as 50 and then 20. These are group singing people and these are quiz. And then from class 8th it is 72 and then 18. Now the total students from class 7th and 8th who take part in quiz together is 38, and the total number of students who take part in any activity from class 9th is 90%. Now what they are asking, they are just asking the difference, that is nothing but 90 minus 38. So here you can take it as 52. 90 minus 30, it is 60. 60 minus 8, it is 52. Isn't that simple friends? The only thing you have to do here is to take the table correctly. Okay, to take these ratio values also very correct and accurate values. Okay friends, now we will be moving to our next question. See friends, here the number of students who take part in quiz from class 7th, that is nothing but 20%, is what approximately percent of the total number of students who take part in group singing from class 8th and then 10th class. From class 8th it is 72%, and then from class 10th it is 42%. Isn't it? Okay. Now what did they ask? What is this 20% percentage of this total? That is nothing but 1 into 100. Then if you have calculated this, what is the percentage you will be getting? So if you have calculated here, you will be approximately getting 17%. Then how did I take 17%? Earlier I have told you, if you have taken 10% of 114, it will become 11.4. Okay, next for our value here is 20. So we will be taking the value which is very much closer, that is not as much closer as 9. Okay, so the nearest value, that is 7. Okay friends, 10 plus 7, we can take it as 17%. Okay, 10% it becomes 11.4, and then 7% we can take it as 8.6, and then total together it becomes 20. So that I have taken it as option B, 17%. Okay friends, we will be moving to our next question. See here, what is the total number of students who take part in quiz from all the classes together? So we should be adding all the members, that is 20, 18, 36, and then also 18. If we have added this, 36 plus 36, 72, 72 plus 20, 92. Isn't that very simple? 18 plus 18, 36, 36 plus 36, 72 plus 20 becomes 92. This is also very simple question. And this is our next question. The total number of students who do not take part in any of the activities from class 9th, that is 95%, is what percent of total number of students who took part in any of the activities from class 7th, 8th and then 9th. Okay, they are asking this 95% is what percent of total number of students who took part in any of the activities. Okay, here already we have discussed the total number of persons here is 70, and then here they are 90, and then here also they are 90. Okay, and then here they are 60, those who took part in the activities. Okay, but they are asking only 7th, 8th and then 9th, that is these three persons. 90 plus 90, it is 180, 180 plus 70, nothing but 250, and then into 100 as they have asked in percentages. 25 ones, 4s, 9.5 into 4, what will be our answer? 9 4s 36, 0.5 into 4, nothing but 2. 36 plus 2, it becomes 38. Isn't that simple, friends? I think you have understood this here. 25 ones, 25 4s, it becomes 100. As we have 0 here, I have taken decimal, and then 9.5 into 4, 9 4s are 36, we know that. 0.5 into 4, also we know it as 2. So 36 plus 2, it becomes 38. Okay, friends, I think you are clear with this question also. And then coming to our next model, the ratio of the speed of two trains is 5:8. Okay, and then sum of their length is 660. Okay, and then ratio of the time taken to cross an electric pole by a train A and train B is 4:3. Okay, friends, that is nothing but depending on the speed, depending on their length, we will be getting this ratio, that is 4:3. Then what did they ask? What is the difference between the length of the two trains? Okay, okay, friends, if you have observed here, they have given us the speed ratio and then also the time taken. So time ratio. We know that time t equal to distance by speed. For example, we will be taking their lengths as L1 and then L2. Okay, friends, time t equal to distance by speed. What is the ratio of time they have taken? It is nothing but 4/3, that is 4:3. And then coming to their time distance, that is initial first train distance, length we have taken it as L1. Okay, and then the second train length is L2. Now the speeds ratio is nothing but 5/8, that is 5:8. So if we have taken it, it will become 8/5 as speed will be in denominator. Now if we have gone for this calculation, 4 1s 4 2s, it will become 5L2 is equal to 6L1. Okay, this will be the thing you will be getting. For example, see here, friends, if you think this is an electric pole and the time taken by the train to cross this electric pole, they have given it as t, nothing but 4:3. Now to take the length, what the value you will be taking the length? Nothing but the length of the train as distance. Isn't that? To cross this electric pole, the train should pass all through length so that it becomes its distance. Okay, I think you have understood this. So here 5L2 equal to 6L1. So L2 by L1 is equal to L2 by L1 is equal to 6/5. Okay, now they have given here 6/5, nothing but 6 parts and then 5 parts. Now we have if we have calculated, sum of their lengths is nothing but 660. L1 plus L2 is equal to 660, nothing but 11 parts is equal to 660. So each part is nothing but 60. Isn't that, friends? 11 parts is equal to 660. 11 parts is equal to 660. Then 1 part equal to 660 by 11. Nothing but you will be getting each part as 60. Now to calculate the distance, how will be taking the difference between their L1 and L2 is nothing but one part, that is 6 parts minus 5 parts, nothing but equal to 1 part. What is the value of 1 part we got? It is 60. Okay, here our answer is 60 meters. I think you understood this, friends. Initially I have taken the basic formula time t equal to distance by speed. They have given us the time ratios, and then also they have given us the speed ratios, so that I have taken t1 by t2 equal to d1 by d2 into s2 by s1. This is the thing I have taken. Then I have got it as 5l2 equal to 6l1. So I'll be getting the length ratio L2 by L1 is equal to 6 by 5. So they have already given the complete length as 660. So 11 parts is equal to 660. Then 1 part becomes 60, isn't it? So the difference between their lengths is also 1 part. So I have taken at 60 meters. If the difference becomes 2 parts, then I'll be taking 120 meters. Isn't it? I think, friends, you have understood this. Here the answer is option C, 60 meters. We will be moving to our next question. This is age related question. At present, the sum of ages of 4 people is 76. Okay. After 7 years, the ratio will be 7 is to 6 is to 5 is to 8. After 7 years. So that now they are asking find out the present age of C. Okay. Now let us assume it is 7x, 6x, 5x and then 8x. That is after 7 years. At present, if we have added these 4 people age, it becomes 76. Now if we have added their ages after 7 years, it becomes 76 plus 28. Because each member will be increasing their age by 7 years. So 7 into 4, it becomes 28. If we have added 76 to 28, it becomes 104. Okay, 104 is the total age. Now if we have added these ratios, that is 7x plus 6x plus 5x plus 8x, it becomes 7 plus 6, 13 plus 5, 18. 18 plus 8, it becomes 26, isn't it? So 26x is equal to 104. Then x equal to 104 by 26, nothing but 4. We got x value as 4. Okay. Now what did they ask us? Find out the present age of C. Now if we have gone here, after 7 years, the age of C is 5x. So 5 into 4, nothing but 20. Okay. 5 into 4, as we got x value as 4, it becomes 5 4 20. But they are asking C's present age, that is not after 7 years, at present. So this is the age of C after 7 years. So now his age will be 13, that is 20 minus 7, it is 13. That is option D, 13. Okay, friends, I think you have understood this also. By practice, you will be completing these type of questions very quickly. Okay. And the next question. See, friends, this is very simple. You need not calculate anything. You can directly go for it. There is a 3-digit number. The digit at the 10th place is 3. This is unit place. This is 10th place. This is 100th place. So the second number from the last is 3. How many options do we have having this condition, satisfying this condition? It is option B and then option C, and then option A, E and D are wrong according to this condition. Next, if the place of all the digits are replaced with each other symmetrically about the 10th position, the new number obtained is 396 more than original 3-digit number. Okay. Next, the sum of the digit at unit and 100th place is 14. In these two options, how many options we have satisfying this condition? That is, by adding the 100th value and then units value, we are getting 14. It is nothing but only option B, that is 9 plus 5. You will be getting 14, isn't it? So you need not go for this condition. By satisfying the first condition and then last condition, you will be getting the answer as option B, 539. Okay friends. See, this is our next question. This is also very simple. The market price of an article is 1600 more than the cost price. Okay. Next, when the same article is sold at a discount of 500, that is, now he is selling the article 1100 more than cost price. Here he has sold for, the market price is 1600. He has given a discount of 500, so that he is selling the article at a cost of 1100 more than cost price. Now if we have sold this article at this price, he will be getting a profit of 25%. Okay. So this 1100, for this 1100 he got 25% profit. Okay. Now what did they ask? For earning a profit of 30%, the article should be sold at which price? So friends, now if you observe here, assume that 100% is cost price. Now he has got 25% profit, that is, so that the total value becomes 125%. Then it has cost price plus 1100. Now we want a profit of 30%. Then what should we go for? So here this 25% value is 1100, isn't that friends? So if we have taken 25% value as 1100, 25% value as 1100, then 1% becomes 1100 by 25. 25 ones. 1% is 44. Okay. Now the total 100% cost price. 100% is the cost price. So it becomes 4400. This is the cost price, isn't that? I think you understood this friends. 25% profit we got by selling the article at 1100. So 25% is equal to 1100. So then 100% is equal to 4400, isn't it? Now we want 30% profit, nothing but 130%. So if we have taken this, then it becomes 4400 into 130%. Okay, divided by 100. Then you will be getting a value of 5720. How did I tell it as 5720? See here friends, 4400 into 130% I have taken. So 100% is nothing but 4400. Next 30%, take it as simple as 10%, and then also again 10%, and then also again 10%. If you have added these values, then you will be getting 5720. Okay friends, I think you have understood this question also. Here they have directly given this 25% is equal to 1100. Just by observing these condition, you will be getting that 25% is equal to 1100. Then what did they ask? For earning a profit of 30%, the article should be sold at what price? So if we have got 25% as 1100, then 130% is what? Then we got the value 5720. Okay friends, we will be moving to our next question.